Is time enough at last?
Obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
When will they take the bandages off?
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Tommy Dina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call The Twilight Zone.
What is up, Gnomies? I'm Alex.
And I'm Tyler.
Welcome to the Twilight Gnome Podcast, episode 52.
1 year. Congrats to us and all of you guys for tuning in and listening for a full year. Thank you guys so much.
Right, which also means we are officially 1/3 of the way done with our run of this podcast, which seems bittersweet.
It's crazy. Like, it doesn't even feel like it's been a year, but
this week for our year-end review, what episode are we going to be discussing?
this week we'll be discussing Prime Mover.
The Prime Mover, Season 2, Episode 21, original air date, March 24th, 1961. This was written by Charles Beaumont and directed by Richard L. Baer, who did 7 Twilight Zones. Are you ready for him?
Let's hear them.
He did Third from the Sun, The Purple Testament, Nick of Time, The Prime Mover, To Serve Man, The Fugitive, and What's in the Box.
Wow, that's a lot of good ones.
Pretty much everything but What's in the Box and Purple Testament I haven't seen in a long time. But other than that, I like all of his episodes.
I'd say it's been a very long time since I've seen Purple Testament, and I don't think I ever watched What's in the Box. I think that's season 5, right?
It is, and it has the voice of Pooh Bear in it, the only episode that he is in.
Oh, Piglet.
He plays the TV repairman that kind of like magical and gives him, it's kind of like an unusual camera, just it's a TV instead of a camera.
I was thinking What's in the Box is the one where there's like an alien that comes down that has like a gift for humanity and they end up killing him.
That's called The Gift.
Oh. He also had a box though. The gift was inside the box?
I don't know. It was my dick in a box. But I know me and you talked about this, but I don't believe I've said it on the podcast, but Charles Beaumont, the writer, I was looking him up, and he died very young. I think he was like 39 when he died, and I looked it up, and I was new fear unlocked, Alzheimer's at 39.
I know. When you told this to me, I was like, I didn't know that was even possible to like get Alzheimer's at such a young age. I thought it was more like when you're later on in life, so that was very scary. Like,
yeah, terrible. But anyway, on a brighter note, Tyler, what was your favorite moment of the episode?
So my favorite moment of this episode was... My favorite moment from this episode was the car crash scene. It just looked so cool, and like it's higher quality, and I'll get into it later in my section why the car crash scene was a little bit higher quality there. But yeah, I just loved it. And then the raising of the car too, that was just also cool.
Well, my favorite moment was also the car crash scene. Again, I have it written down in my Inside the Twilight Zone, but who's going to take it first?
I mean, you go first, so don't be a dick. I don't have many references.
All right. It was fucking awesome. Like, actually, I was watching it with my wife, and both were like, holy shit. Like, it came out of nowhere, like, holy fuck, that was a badass stunt in this thing.
It was a really badass stunt, and it's like, also thinking, like, back in, like, the early 60s, like, whoever was driving that car probably did not have much protection in the way of, like, that cushion the blow. Ugh.
Well, spoiler alert, it's from 1958.
Yeah.
But, and then also after that, the Rod intro, one of my favorite, like, funny
I'm walking
ones,
behind a tree.
coming out of the bushes.
Yep.
Just like in the, I think it was Odyssey of Flight 33, when he comes out of, like, pretty much like where the bathroom would be on the plane. Just, what are you doing?
And I like this one there where, like, he has to, like, move some branches out of the way to, like, get into the shot. Just
that was a good Rod intro.
I really love it when
Not
Rod...
good, but funny.
I mean, it was good, too. I like it any time that, like, Rod interacts with the set. Like, that way... Obviously, nowadays, people could just be, like, superimposed onto whatever scene you're filming, but I like it when he, like when the snow lands on him in Night of the Meek, and just other times where he physically interacts with the set. Makes it more fun.
We have the technology to rebuild it.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am, for all intent and purposes, AI Serling.
So every week I put a prompt into ChatGPT, come up with a Rod Serling style intro to the episode we are watching. This week it came up with a pretty cool one. It's a good fun one for a good fun episode.
All right.
Meet Ace Larson, a man with a habit, a hunger, and a history of bad luck that stretches longer than the road behind him. He's a gambler by trade, a dreamer by nature, and a loser by sheer mathematical certainty. He slings hash in his roadside diner alongside his best friend Jimbo Cobb, a quiet man with a peculiar talent Ace is about to discover. And with that discovery comes a change in fortune, a shift in the winds of fate, but as every gambler knows, the house always wins in the end. Tonight, Ace Larson is about to learn in the grand casino of existence, the biggest stakes aren't measured in chips or currency, but in something far more valuable. A lesson waiting to be dealt in the Twilight Zone.
That is really good. Really good there. With a lot of references to gambling, but also about the greater message of the story. So perfect.
I like that one a lot.
Also, what is the expression slinging hash? Where does that come from? Is it because, like, you make hash browns?
I think it's more like red flannel hash or just hash because it's like, potatoes and just a bunch of leftover stuff.
It's called hash when it's just a bunch of leftovers on a grill?
It's usually just potatoes, meats. What makes red flannel hash? I think they add beets in there, but it's like corned beef and potatoes and just hash.
Huh. I thought it was because of like hash browns or something, but I was like, what if it's not a breakfast place?
Because they have like cans of hash and stuff too.
Who hash?
Hash is actually pretty good. And the stuff you smoke.
That's what I was thinking too. He's selling hash on the sidewalks.
The hash driveway, Ricky.
The hash slinging slasher.
All right, so every week Tyler and I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes. This week I have 3.
I have 4.
Oh, then go first.
Alrighty. How much is coffee and donuts?
Motherfucker, there's 4
I
signs.
there was more than 4. When they pan to see Jimbo's side, there's also a couple more over there. And some of the prices just don't make any sense. It's like, why would this item be so much drastically cheaper than this other item? But
yeah, it's 20 cents. That was my first one.
Okay. Are you happen to pick the exact same one?
Yep. I was like, what are the odds we'll pick the same one? There's fucking 5 signs behind her.
What is the name of the cafe?
I'm not going to cheat. I have it written down in my notes. I know it's not Highway Cafe because that's from Will the Real Martian. Damn it. I don't know.
Monday, Tuesday, Happy Days. Happy Days Cafe.
Really?
Yeah. But it's spelled with a Z. D-A-Z-E.
Oh, yeah. Literally the very first thing I had, Happy Days. All right.
Yeah.
During his first bet at the roulette wheel, what does he put all of his money on? What number?
28 black?
8.
Well, there was an 8 in there. You got half of it right. According to the calendar in the cafe, what month is it?
November.
December.
Damn it. So close.
That
was a shot in the dark.
They would have won 12, yeah.
What is the number of their hotel in the casino?
22.
208.
What is the license plate number of the car in the accident?
Holy fuck. 7-AJ27.
Nope. 5A3236.
So close. All right, we'll jump right into the plot of this bad boy. We open up on Happy Days Cafe.
Same jazz from The Chaser, did you notice? I think it worked better.
They use it a lot.
I think it worked better with The Chaser, but it's still good here.
That's funny. The second thing I have after Happy Days Cafe in my notes is cool music.
Yeah.
I do like that one. And I believe they used it in The Chaser as well when he...
That's what I just said. It's. I just said that it's the same one from The Chaser, but I think The Chaser did it better.
Yeah. Fuck me. I'll do a great start. But anyway, I'll play a little bit of this because we hear Ace talking, and it's one of the old bait and switches. You think he's talking to a lady, but He turns out that he's talking to a...
slot machine.
Do you know what that slot machine's from?
Franklin.
It is, the very same. I'll play a little bit of that.
Now you listen to me, baby. This is Ace talking to you, your old lover boy, Ace. We've been together a long time, you and me. And I've been real good to you, haven't I? I fed you, I took care of you, gave you everything you wanted, right? Right? Okay. Well, I think it's about time you started paying off.
Definitely a good bait and switch.
It is a good one. It was probably like still fresh when they did it back in the 60s, but at this point, like, you need to do some sort of spin on it because it's such a worn out trope. Like, one of the best ones is in Family Guy, where you think that Peter's talking to his boss, and then it zooms out a little and shows he's talking to a mirror, and then it zooms out even more and he actually is talking to his boss.
One of my favorites is in Dumb and Dumber when Harry met Lloyd, when Harry's at the door practicing what he's going to say to Jessica, but she's watching him the whole time. Hey, Jessica. Oh, no, that's stupid. Oh, hey, Jessica. And then pulls away, and she's been watching him the whole fucking time. Like, Harry, you can just come in.
See, like, those are fun twists on it where, like, it's such an old trope, you gotta put some sort of twist on it nowadays, but it worked for this. Yeah.
For sure. So he loses and starts threatening the machine. But I'm only kidding. Like, he's very superstitious, it seems like. Like, he thinks that he's actually going to hurt this machine's feelings.
I feel like that's the way a lot of gamblers are. They tend to find, like, oh, this is my lucky chair. I need to sit in exactly this chair, and then I'll get the right hand. Or, like, people that pick lottery tickets, they always use the same number.
I have a lot of vices, but I'm very glad I never got hit with the gambling bug.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Me neither. But he goes up to Kitty, the waitress, and he's like,
Snaps his
another
fingers
quarter.
at her.
Come on, baby, give me another quarter. There's a bus driver eating his lunch. He's just about to pay up, and he's like, I'll call you. It's double or nothing on your lunch. And then the bus driver's just like, oh, you like torment. Pretty much, you're a glutton for punishment.
Right.
And the bus driver calls heads, and it's heads. The bus driver wins, and he takes that
free
quarter,
lunch.
right? And he takes the quarter, puts it in the slot machine, and wouldn't you know it, the very next pull wins the jackpot. Which, if I was Ace, he must have been fucking
Be
steaming.
so pissed. It's like, because it must have like a certain payout ratio, so it's
Right.
like, what are the odds? All this money I put into it, and I didn't get the one.
And then the bus driver's like, here's your quarter back. And then that guy leaves, and Ace just kind of has a little pity party. And, it's not fair, Jimbo. Kitty leaves, and Jimbo's just like,
When are you gonna pop the question?
right, well, I don't have enough money. Like, well, maybe if you stop fucking spending every cent you had in that damn machine, you might have some money saved up.
And so I was kind of assuming, are these two, Jimbo and Ace, they own the restaurant together?
I would imagine they co-own it, but it's kind of probably more like a Dennis with Mac and Charlie, where they like Jimbo's
one owns it more.
No, they probably own it, but I would imagine Ace probably takes charge and takes advantage of Jimbo.
Yeah.
It definitely seems to be the dynamic in their relationship.
Yep.
Just like I was saying, in Always Sunny, all three of them are supposed to be equal partners, but they make Charlie do the Charlie work.
Well, then also as in like one of the episodes of Always Sunny, it turns out Charlie actually put in way more money than the other two too. So
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me with that. It definitely seems like there's that kind of relationship going on.
yeah, Ace is definitely the mouth and the brains of the operation.
Right. And then pretty much right in the middle of their conversation, we get an epic car crash scene. Pretty damn cool. And they go outside to see what's going on. And the car's flipped over in like a power station. And
They're trying to rescue the couple that's inside the car. And obviously, like, cars are heavy, especially back at the 60s when they're made out of, like, full metal.
so Ace is like, come on, get over here. Give me a hand.
And we just get this cool shot of Jimbo just
O-face.
just using his telekinetic powers to lift that car up.
Right. And as soon as he lifts the car up, Rod brings us in. I must say, I was actually kind of waiting for a Rod intro, especially after season 1 where it's instant. This might be the longest like cold open before Rod intro.
I feel like there's been longer cold opens.
Portrait of a man who thinks and thereby gets things done. Mr. Jimbo Cobb might be called a prime mover, a talent which has to be seen to be believed. In just a moment, he'll show his friends and you how he keeps both feet on the ground and his head in the Twilight Zone.
Rod is the fucking man.
He is cool.
Just had to get that out.
Imagine like just being in the woods and you just see Rod pop out of the woods and he starts like explaining what's going on with you and you're like, oh my god, am I in the Twilight Zone?
He acts as if you're not even there.
Yeah.
Just meet Alex. He's like, oh shit.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah. So then we go to commercial. We come back and Ace comes into a bedroom. Apparently they like share an apartment together or a bedroom.
I would imagine this is probably over their store. So it's probably like that way you can like work that, kind of like Bob's Burgers, you know?
And Ace is like, how'd you do it, Jimbo? And he's like, come on, let's forget it. Literally 2 seconds later, all right, Ace, I'll tell you.
Jimbo had the perfect opportunity here to totally just gaslight Ace 2 and be like, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything. Like, that car just moved on its own, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Right? Make him think no, I saw you lifted it. You're the strongest man in the world.
Right? Yeah, just mess with him.
But yeah, Jimbo, obviously he's kind of probably made to be like the simpleton, but he's just, he's like, I'll tell you how I got the power. And he's like, I know it might sound stupid to you. Like I said, Jimbo's definitely supposed to be like
A
the
little
dumb
slow.
guy or
Yeah.
something like that. And
Which is weird because he has brain powers of telekinesis. So
right, maybe all those headaches take away IQ points or something.
Maybe.
But he definitely lacks
Creativity to what to do with his powers.
for sure. I mean, we don't see what he did in the past, but
That's true. Yeah, maybe he like used his powers recklessly, and that's why he doesn't use them as much anymore.
I didn't really think it was special. I thought everybody could do it.
Imagine too, if you had to do bet on Jimbo versus Anthony, who in a fight, who's gonna win? My money's on Anthony because he can not
Yeah.
only move things, he can create things and
Yeah.
like send people to other dimensions. Like that's
Yeah,
OP.
all we've seen is Jimbo, and I bet Anthony's probably smarter than Jimbo too, from what we see from Jimbo.
Yeah.
he does a lot of stuff like this. Is fucking idiot. Just like what was it when the Nolan comes in later on in the episode, and are you Ace? No, I'm Jimbo.
No, oh, I'm Jim.
I don't know. He definitely seems like a simpleton, but he's a lovable simpleton. He's our idiot.
He's got a heart of gold.
Ace is like, well, why haven't I seen you do it before? And Jimbo's like, well, I kind of gave it up. I got in a lot of trouble, and I keep getting these bad headaches when I did it. He's like, well, can you show me? Move this bed. And he does so. He moves the bed, and we clearly see some wires that are lifting
that's
it.
Little loss of immersion there.
And then he's like, well, can you do it with other things, like a quarter? And Jimbo's like, oh, of course. If it's smaller, it's actually easier. Make it come up
Which-
heads.
Smaller is easier is totally against the whole Yoda vibe of size matters not. I can move anything.
Right, because if it was like the Matrix and there is no spoon, weight doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, but who knows? And then he obviously makes the coin flip to heads, and then he grabs some dice, make that a 7, and he makes it so. And then I'll play a little bit of this because Ace is just like, what the fuck, dude?
It's like, we've been working our asses off in this diner. You could have just had us make so much money.
Honest to... Oh, buddy. What's the matter? Oh, you big stupid jerk. We've been beating our brains out for 4 years working that crummy joint. We could have been living like kings.
We could? How?
You'll see.
Did you hear when he like kicked the door? He
Almost
like,
said the F
fuck.
word. Yeah, I didn't hear
You
it the
fuck.
first 2 times, but playing it right there, the
Especially with
starting of
headphones.
it. Yeah.
Like, you stupid fuck. It's pretty good. He calls Kitty up and he's like, Kitty, pack, we're leaving at 1 o'clock, which I'm guessing, were they 1 in the morning or?
No, he said we're leaving in an hour.
If I said
Did he
at
say
1
that-
o'clock, I'm pretty sure he said at 1 o'clock they're leaving.
I thought
be
he
ready
said
by
we're
1.
leaving in an hour.
I'm pretty sure he said we're leaving by 1.
Oh, well, all right.
You want to go to the tape?
Sure, go for it.
Don't have to pack. It's a short trip and be ready by 1 o'clock.
All right, you're right.
We got that on film. Well, not on film, but we have it
On
recorded.
audio.
Alex was right. Usually, Tyler.
Womp, womp.
It's the reason why I get paid the big bucks and sit in this chair. But, all right. Yep, so then they're in Vegas. Kind of a cool shot of, like, Vegas lights and stuff like that.
Very, again, cliche with the whole, like, oh, we're in a new city. Here's all the big lights and the, I don't know, you'd call them the halogen lights of the signs.
Neon lights.
Yeah.
Yep, and then they're at the roulette table. Ace is like 100 on 8. And Kitty's kind of like, what the hell? That's all the money we have. Ace wins, and then he doubles down. He wins again, and then we get a montage of just him winning. Eventually, Kitty's just like, all right, why don't you stop while you're ahead? And he's like, no, I can't. Me and Jimbo got a system, which you wouldn't say right in front of the fucking dealer. We got a system to be like, they're fucking cheating.
Right? Like, even the fact that, like, even if they said absolutely nothing and still keep their, like, mouth shut, it seems like they're in... A smarter way to go about it would be like win some and then intentionally lose some that you don't lose a whole lot of money. Because otherwise, like I'm watching this and be like, there's no way that security's not going to stop you and be like, hey, I can't prove that you're doing anything wrong, but get out of the casino.
There's
Like,
no fucking way you're winning ever. No one's that lucky.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, obviously, Ace isn't that bright, and neither is Jimbo, but Jimbo does not need Ace. He could just do this himself.
Yeah, but it looks like he's using a lot of his focus and concentration to like change the numbers, whereas he needs a person to like.
It's
bet
more of a
and-
distraction in the
Yeah, because
charisma.
it'd look weird if he was like making his O face with the closed eyes like every single time he made a bet where.
I'm just wishing really hard.
Oh, I really wish it's a 7.
Jimbo says that his head hurts, so Ace is like, oh, all right. And they go and cash out. And like, where's the boy to help us here? Boy.
It's an old man.
All right, boy, oldest guy in the world. He grabs the boxes of money. They go up to the hotel room. And I'll play a little bit of this because he asks him, how you feeling, Jimbo?
First off, in their hotel room, did you notice, like, why are the beds in the living room right next to the dining room table? Like, I get that's a...
I mean, most hotel rooms are just big one open concept.
Yeah, but in this case, it looks like it has, like, multiple rooms and stuff like that.
I think the other room's just a bathroom because it shows him go into the bathroom the next morning to wash his face.
I assumed to, the left of the room that we're not seeing that's where, like, the beds would be in a separate room. Because they're in, obviously a really nice suite, and usually with suites, the beds are in a different section than, like, the living room section. I don't know. I just thought it was weird the beds were there.
True.
Ace, I'm tired. I gotta sleep. Sleep? What's the matter with you? We're gonna do a town, have some fun. We just got started. Come on.
Well, I'll see you boys in the morning.
Now, look, don't you fold up on me.
Ace,
Yeah?
I can't do it no more. It's wrong, Ace. It's cheating. Cheating's wrong.
Jimbo, you're right.
You mean it? We're gonna quit?
Sure, Jimbo, we're gonna quit.
Ace, you promise?
Sure, kid, sure. After just one more time. Give me that. One more time, is it okay?
Well, okay. One more time.
It's never really made it clear whether or not Kitty is in on what Jimbo's powers are or not. Like, I can't tell if she's afraid that Ace is just going to lose all the money he won, or if she's with Jimbo and thinking, no, cheating's bad.
That is just immoral.
Yeah.
I think I'm more in the camp of she just thinks that Ace is going to lose all of his money, I would say.
Yeah, I kind of thought that the first couple times watching, but, like, the things that they say in front of her, like, she must be picking up on, like, obviously they're doing something.
She just knows they had a system, but I guess she doesn't know what the system is. But it's at this point, Kitty's like, after the one more time debacle thing they're like, all right, Kitty's out of there. She goes, she's like, I'm going home. She tells Ace, come on, let's go. And he's like, no, tomorrow I'm going to have enough money to buy a whole state. What's it? Aceville. Fucking guy. Dreams big, I suppose. But she is just having none of this. She calls him Little Caesar, like you alluded to, and he goes after Kitty.
Well, he only goes after her, too, because Jimbo's, like, at first he's just in the room sort of mad, and then Jimbo kind of gives
what's
him
her
these...
problem?
Jimbo kind of gives him these words of advice of, like, do you love her? Go after her then, Ace.
They're down in the lobby, and Kitty leaves, and he's like, well, whatever. And then he sees the cigarette girl there, Sheila. How would you like to work for me, baby? And he's like, here's $1,000. What do I do?
Also,
you buy stuff.
$1,000? It looked like he handed her a single bill.
$500 bills were in circulation until like the 80s or 90s.
Oh.
Could have given her 2 500s.
That's weird.
But yeah, she's like, when do I start? Right now. The manager comes in.
Is there a problem?
He's like, he gives him some money, pays him off too. And then he asks the manager, who's the biggest gambler around here? And he's like, well, that's Mr. Nolan. He's like, well, you tell Mr. Nolan to meet me tomorrow and bring a lot of lettuce. And by lettuce, I mean money. Then why the fuck call it lettuce in the first place?
He has this, like, what are they called? Like, sharks? He has this, like, I can't think of the word. He has this very salesman-y, like, New Jersey sort of vibe to him where he, like, just very showy, and he just wanted to use the word lettuce, I'm sure.
Right. And then Sheila and Ace go out and must have a very big fun night because it's the next morning, the phone's ringing, everyone's kind of hung over, it seems like, or at least Ace is.
Well, and then Jimbo has a headache from using his powers.
Yep.
Which he immediately then reuses his powers to get the phone summoned to him.
That was a pretty cool shot. I did not see the wires on the phone.
I also didn't see it, and then... like, when it lands next to him, like, it couldn't have been on the receiver part because he's able to pick that up and there's no string attached to it.
Right. And he's like, Ace, it's a telephone. It's Mr. Nolan. And I'll play a little bit of this. 'Cause Ace, no, it reminded me of the Jerky Boys. It's fucking Frank Rizzo. You haven't fucking heard of me.
Hi, Phil. Good to hear from you, baby. This is Ace Larson. From where? From here, from Nevada. Now, wait a minute, Phil. Wait a minute. That's not a nice way to... All right, so you never heard of me. You will. Now, you listen to me, Buster. I got $200,000 in this room, and I'm hot for a game. I'm ready to bet any part of it. Now, of course, if the stakes is too high for you, I can always call somebody else.
And then Jimbo's kind of like, that guy's from Chicago, right? Isn't he a big gangster?
Which, I thought gangsters would have been over by the 60s. I thought that was more of a 20s thing during Prohibition.
I think it's still going on. Like, even today, like in The Sopranos, it was going on. That was like 2000.
I just assumed that was just a thing on TV. It wasn't real.
I'm sure there's still organized crime. I don't think
Well,
that ever
yeah.
will go away. The next shot, Nolan arrives at the hotel, and he wants to see the stuff, so Jimbo shows Nolan the cash.
He shows him the lettuce.
Yeah. He's like, let's start with 10,000, huh? How's that sound? And he's about to roll the dice, Ace is, and Nolan stops him and goes, let's play with my dice.
Which is a smart move on his behalf. Like, obviously, the other guy could have loaded his dice, so...
Right. And Ace rolls a perfect 7. He's like, all right, how about let's let it ride. Now, an 11 would be really nice.
How the hell does this game work? I could not figure it out.
It's just whatever you call?
Yeah, like, is it just like, these are the numbers I want, and if I get them, then I win? Like, then you have your odds would be terrible, like...
They're playing the old game of 7-Eleven. You never used to play that with dice?
Well, then, because I know in what's it called? With the one with the dice where you're normally rolling them in a casino.
Craps.
Craps. In craps, you're usually looking for 7s and 11s, but then, like, in this, like, sometimes he's looking for an 8, and sometimes he's looking for a 12, and it's like, what the hell? Like, make up your mind. What the hell do you want?
True. But then we get a little montage of Ace winning a bunch, and then finally Nolan kind of is like, what the fuck? And he, like, grabs his hand and stops him from doing the dice, checks him, and goes, go ahead, Mr. Larson there, but remember, people only fucking cheat on me once. Sheila comes in. And,
who's this lady?
Right? Oh, she's my good luck charm. We're going to Lake Mead. And he's like, oh, don't worry, baby. This is going to be pretty quick here. And then he's like, going to throw in the whole pot, but Jimbo's just like, Ace, there's really something I want. Shut up. Like, why the fuck would you not listen to him?
Right, exactly. Like, this is the man that is allowing you to win all this money. Like, listen to him when he's talking.
Right. He's like, all right, the number is 11. Remember 11. And I'll play a little bit of this because it's pretty funny. Jimbo tries to warn him one final time, but he doesn't take it.
11. And this is it.
Ace.
Now, don't bother me.
Ace, listen,
All right, 11. 11. And there it is.
Tough luck, Trooper. You got nerve, pal. I like that.
I'm surprised that, the fuck's his name? That Nolan went for that. Like, when he threw the whole pot in, don't worry, like, after you've just seen him probably not lose, like...
Exactly. Well, maybe they're only cutting it to the parts where he's winning, and then it's the implied, like, oh, he's losing some to make it look like it's not cheating.
I don't know. Ace seems like the guy that would be okay with just continuously winning.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, I feel like if roles were reversed and he was in a nice place to visit, he wouldn't get bored with the winning.
Maybe.
But either way, he loses it all. Sheila leaves, and Jimbo's just like, sorry, I was trying to tell you. I must have lost the power, blew a fuse or something. You're not mad, are ya? And Sheila's like, we're not going to Lake Mead. And she leaves. Ace kind of starts laughing it off. They're both laughing together. And it was kind of an awkward tension because I was like, yeah, you just blew a fuse. And he pulls out a gun and just fucking kills fucking Jimbo. You weren't expecting that?
No, he has a very calm demeanor. Like, oh, well, you lose some, you win some.
He took it very well. I was very shocked.
To be fair, he knows that his friend he assumes that his friend probably still has this power. If he wanted to utilize it, he probably could at some future date. I mean, he made all this money in one day. Who's to say he can't do it again, you know?
I suppose. But they go home, and in the next shot, in the diner, they're getting rid of the slot machine. And Kitty's like, he goes up to Kitty and says, now that it's gone, will you marry me? A broom falls. Jimbo, come on, you don't have to distract me.
And she wants to make a bet out of it.
Yep. And she's like, you have a quarter? And she calls heads. It is heads, so she's like, yes, Mr. Larson, I will marry you. They kiss, and we see Jimbo use his power to lift the broom back up, so he didn't lose it.
Yeah, he was intentionally losing on purpose so that
He lost the money, but he saved his friend.
Yeah. The important lesson.
And then Rod brings us out.
Some people possess talent, others are possessed by it. When that happens, the talent becomes a curse. Jimbo Cobb knew, right from the beginning. But before Ace Larson learned that simple truth, he had to take a short trip through the Twilight Zone.
And that is our episode. Tyler, what did you learn?
Never gamble.
Yeah, it's very black and white. I'm with you, though. We'll go right into ratings. IMDb currently has this at a 7 out of 10. Do you think? I think we might be pretty
we're
close.
Probably pretty close. You want to say it at the same time?
Sure. 1, 2, 3,
7.5.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
This is I was very pleasantly surprised with this episode.
It's definitely one that I remembered before. Like I didn't probably need to rewatch it twice. Because the minute I picked it, I was like, "Yep, I remember exactly what this episode is." It's fun. It has a good, simple message. You know how I like simple, straightforward messages, and at no point is it like slow or boring or anything like that. There's always something.
There's
going
no
on,
filler in this one. This was just from top to bottom good. It just, I don't know why I never really remembered it so fondly. I don't know what really keeps it from being higher. I think it's just because it kind of is one of those guilty pleasure in a sorts.
Maybe. I mean, and it definitely has that sci-fi feel with the telekinesis and stuff. So it's definitely got points for Twilight Zoniness. It's got points for, just fun message and overall
And action-packed.
Yeah.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in the Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this week we have Dane Clark. He played Ace. Now that's Ace Larson he played. He was in One Night Gallery, One Playhouse 90. He was in quite a bit of TV shows from the late 50s to the late 80s. He had quite a few small roles in the 40s and a bunch of films. And that's pretty much it for him. Our big player here is Buddy Epson. He played Jimbo Cobb. He was in 274 episodes of the Beverly Hillbillies. He plays Jeb Clement, the dad.
All right.
He was in 178 episodes of Barnaby Jones. He played the proverbial Barnaby Jones. He was in One Night Gallery, and he actually did the singing voice of the Tin Man in 1939.
Huh. I'm surprised they didn't just have... I mean, I know a lot of times usually the singer's not always the person acting in it, but I'm surprised with live action.
And it might have been just for a couple things that he couldn't hit for high notes. Who knows?
Yeah.
But and his last credit was on King of the Hill in 1999. He played Chet Elderson in the episode. I believe they burned the police station down. He plays the old man.
No idea about that episode.
King of the Hill is pretty awesome. And then we got Christine White. She played Kitty. She was in 2 Twilight Zone episodes. And the episode that she was in that wasn't this probably overshadowed it because it is Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. She plays Julia Wilson. She plays the wife of
William Shatner.
Yes.
There's something on the wing.
She was in lots of TV, but just like one episodes of stuff in the 50s and 60s. And that's it for the cast.
There's no peepers?
No Mr. Peepers. And it's been a while. I've fucking looked through everybody, and this was a pretty big cast. But like all 12 that were on IMDb, not a single one was there.
Womp.
Very depressing. Sex Fiend is the same slot machine as the Fever in season 1. And I won't step on your toes. I'll let you do that. All the casinos featured in this episode no longer exist. I believe they actually just took down the Flamingo like last year.
I mean, that makes sense. I feel like they're constantly tearing down old, like ones that aren't even that old, they tear down, which is crazy. I think the Mirage is going to get teared down, and that doesn't seem like that's that old.
Right. And this was yet another one of many episodes that Rod got called out for plagiarism. And again, it is one that he didn't even write. This was written by Charles Beaumont, which I believe last episode I brought it up. Someone wrote to Rod, like, you stole my idea. Which...
What were they claiming was the original source, then, on this one?
I can look it up. There was a...
That's fine.
But someone said that they pretty much had the same idea for a short story, which... I feel like in music, there's only so many chords, there's only so many fucking ideas. Like a guy in Vegas that has powers, that's probably coming up millions of fucking times.
And also just like anyone thinks like, oh, I wish I had telekinesis so I could literally do this, like just rob a casino blind.
Right. In total, this episode cost $51,327. The director received the usual $1,250, and the cast received $7,308.
What'd you say your name was?
What's in the name, Mr. Benninger, really? A mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles to the episodes we are watching. This week, I have 4.
I have 6.
All right, go for it.
All right. The Gambler.
Yeah, I got Double Down Debacle.
I have The Dice Debacle.
Good. Easy Come, Easy Go.
Cheaters Never Win.
The Ace Up Your Sleeves.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. I think that might be the best one. High Roller.
Lucky Dice.
Las Vegas Larson. And Winner Winner Telekinesis Dinner.
Pretty good.
I like your Ace one. That was really good.
The Ace Up Your Sleeves.
Yep.
All right. Switcheroos.
Oh, did you say sleeves too instead of sleeves? Yeah. Oh, even more. Yeah, I like it.
All right. Switcheroos, I have 3.
I have 4.
Right. The Fever.
No. Penny for Your Thoughts.
The Mind and the Matter.
Yep, I got that one. The Gift.
Yep, that's mine.
And Caesar and Me. She calls him Little Caesar.
All right.
It was a poll, but.
All right.
Oh, it may be better, it may be worse. The Twilight Zone did first.
All right. So as I alluded to earlier on, there was the car crash scene at the beginning was actually taken from another movie. It came from 1958's movie called Thunder Road. So that's why the quality on that was so much better than like a normal TV show quality, because it was actually filmed from a movie. So they reused that footage there. And then Kitty calls Ace Little Caesar, which is in reference to a 1931 movie called Little Caesar. And then just a couple other references with regards to like cheating at gambling and cheating at casinos. You got Futurama's episode Into the Wild Green Yonder, where Fry uses his telepathy to cheat at poker. He can read all the opponents' minds there. And then you also have 2009's The Hangover, where they get Alan to count cards, as well as that itself is a reference to 1988's Rain Man, where they count cards.
Gotta go to Kmart.
I've never seen that movie.
It's really good.
It looks like it'd be really good.
It's good.
And then last but not least, the movie 21 from 2008, where a high school team of nerds all rob a casino through counting cards again.
Decent. All right, so every week Tyler picks the episodes, and he does so by showing me an AI-generated picture. I'm kind of excited because he said that next week's is a good one. I don't want to get my hopes up because we have differed quite a bit in the past. I'm guessing it's season 4. It's been a long time. The Parallel was our last season 4, but what it is, I have no idea.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Is it Dead Man's Shoes?
It is Dead Man's Shoes.
That's not season 4.
No, it's season 3.
All right, holy fuck. It's going to be a long time for season 4 again. It's got to be the Nake after. Maybe. We'll see.
The what after?
The week after.
It sounded like you said the Nake after.
The Nake after. No. All right, Dead Man's Shoes. I don't really remember this one.
It was really fun. Like, I don't think I'd seen this before, and then I was pleasantly surprised by how much fun this episode was.
All right. Just a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys could please continue to like and subscribe on YouTube, it means a lot to us. I can't believe we are at 85 subscribers now.
15
Thank you
more,
guys
we can get to 100.
So much. Hugely appreciated. If you could also go to the Facebook page and like and follow that. I know I've been saying it for quite a few weeks, but I'm going to be putting up a picture of the rating board, especially after this episode when we do our re-rates for our year-end review. Tyler, I've been doing quite a bit of extensive research on you the last year, and you are not going to be receiving that bonus this year.
Aww.
It's going to be going to the CEOs. Mr. Serling has deep pockets. Also, if you guys are listening on Spotify, you can give us a 5-star review because
we are a 5-star show.
We sure are, and you can comment on that. I believe. I'm pretty sure you can.
Right, you are, Ken.
Yeah. And if you have any other reason to get a hold of us, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com.
Please email us. I just want to check at this point to see if we can receive emails.
Right. Send Tyler a nice little letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely if you guys want to interact with comments, we love reading those. If you want to play along with the new name segment, or if you want to give me your answer for the final question, I always give Tyler at the end, or just say what's up, or anything. We'd love to hear from you guys. Yeah. And let's see, final question for you, Ty. After the final question, we are going to be doing our year-end review. If you guys want to stick around for that, it's going to be a little bit of fun. We're going to have some extra trivia over the last year, and we are going to announce what our 3 each re-rates of our episodes are.
Yeah, so exciting. So stick around.
All right, Ty. But until then, my final question for you. I know you're not as much of a gambler as some people, but what is your favorite game at a casino, and what is the most you've ever won?
My favorite game at a casino was craps. I kind of liked the idea that like I can control the dice, whereas like with cards, you never know what that card dealing machine's doing, and like you definitely can't trust slot machines. So I enjoyed craps. It was kind of fun. Most I've won, maybe like $10 or $20, because I never bet more than like $10 or $20.
True. I like blackjack myself, and I have won like $200 at blackjack before.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, like you said, it seems like the fucking dealer wins every single time. So it's with blackjack, you have to spend big to win.
Yeah.
And I do not really have that. I lose $20 and I'm like, fuck, I should have just kept that $20.
Yeah. Usually you'll find me like, if I just want to be cheap but I'm getting dragged to casino anyway, I'll probably be sitting at like a penny slot machine and then just really slowly just letting the hours burn.
For sure. But, all right, that is our episode of The Prime Mover. We will jump right into our year-end review.
Do you want to start with our trivia questions or with our re-rates?
We'll do our trivia questions first.
All right.
Let's do that.
Do you have a little music thing for it? No music bump?
Don't. I mean, we're only going to have to use it 3 times. But
This is the year-end review.
End of year trivia. I have 10.
I also have 10 because you told me to write 10.
Okay. That's going to go in your year-end review. Good listener.
Thank you.
Obeys orders.
Thanks, boss.
All right. Number 1. What is the name of the main character in On Thursday We Leave for Home?
Spartacus. Something like spacey, probably. No, was it normal?
Yeah.
Frank.
Remember, he thought he had a rank he didn't have.
Frank?
Captain Benteen.
Would not have been able to pull that out my ass.
No.
All right. I kind of went easier kind of question. Well, some of them
easy.
Some of them are easy. All right. Question number 1. What is the poem the old couple recites in the trade-ins? I'm not looking for the name. I'm looking for you to recite the part of the poem that they always say.
Isn't it like Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be?
Nope.
Oh,
Come grow old with me. The best is yet to be. The last of life for which the first was made.
All right. In Mr. Dingle the Strong, when he sits down on the park bench with a woman, he asks, "Ma'am, do I look like a..."
Oh, shit. Oh, I love this line. Do I look like a... Not a duffer, like a duper? Do I look like a stooper?
A masher?
A masher.
She's mashing it.
I had it with the ER part, kind of.
Close.
Quick. Okay, question number 2. What medicine does Chris bring back in time with him in 100 Yards Over the Rim?
Penicillin.
Good job.
All right.
Our first one right.
I haven't even been taken... Was that my first one right?
That was your first one right, yep.
And you don't have one yet? Maybe you'll get it on this one. In Mr. Garrity and the Graves, the town of Happiness, Arizona, used to be referred to as many things. Can you name one of them?
Deadly Arizona?
I don't believe so. It's like Boot Hill Village, Satan's Side Stop.
I knew it had to do with like the opposite of happiness. It was like Sad Village. All right. My question number 3 for you. What is the name of the dog in I Dream of Jeannie?
Oh, shit. Franklin?
Attila.
Oh, yeah, Attila. All right. Dang it. What is the name of the street in The Incredible World of Horace Ford?
Shit, I was literally going to put this as a question, too. And it's the same one of Randolph Street.
It is.
Yeah, I got one on the board. We're both at 1. All right. Was that your question number 4?
Yep.
All right. My question number 4. What number is the professor's library in The Chaser?
22.
Correct.
Sweet.
Are you keeping track of your own points?
My points.
Okay, I'll keep track of mine then.
What does the drunken Santa Claus in The Night of the Meek take out of his sack for his boss, Mr. Dundee, at the police station?
A brandy.
Close enough. Sherry brandy.
Sherry
Yep.
brandy.
I'll give it to you.
All right. My question number 5. Name 3 of Frisbee's made-up nicknames.
That's one of mine as well. My favorite. Old Cumulus Frisbee.
That's my favorite too. Okay, 2 others.
Name some more?
Yeah, I said name 3 of Frisbee's
name
made-up
3?
names.
Shit. I was only going to have you do 1. Archimedes Frisbee.
Yeah.
And Old Stonewall Frisbee.
Yep.
All right. Old Stonewall Frisbee. It's a terrible Frisbee. All right. What does Walter Bettiger call his wife in the escape clause?
A potato pancake.
He does. You are a potato pancake.
I'm on the board with 3. You're also at 3?
I'm at 2.
Oh, I thought you had. Was that my third one? Yeah, that was my third one I got right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Question number 6 for you. What's the first trade Salvador Ross makes?
Trades his cold for the broken hand.
He trades a broken hand for a cold.
I knew it was what the switch was. I get that.
All right, close enough. You got it.
He had the
backwards,
broken
though.
hand from punching.
Yeah, he got it
and he
from-
took it from old Ben there.
Yeah.
For you, it might just be a cough, but for me, it could turn into ammonia.
Exactly.
In A Stopover in a Quiet Town, our very first episode, what does Bob say the grass is made out of?
Paper mache.
Paper mache.
He said it mache. He's like,
No, he said
paper mache.
Paper mache.
Said it funny.
You did.
No, I said he said it funny.
I know, and I said, yeah, he did.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said, yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
we're in agreement.
Oh, okay. What floor does Marcia buy the gold thimble on in the after hours?
9th floor?
Correct.
I almost said 13, but it is the 9th. Fuck yeah. All right, I'm at 4. We're tied. What pet does the little boy have on the rooftop in The Big Tall Wish?
He has rabbits.
He does.
In which 4 episodes that we have seen so far do people get poisoned poured into their drinks? I'm looking for you to name all 4 episodes.
All 4. Back There.
Yep.
You poisoned me. Why? What you counting The Chaser? Because technically he's
Nope.
putting stuff in the drink.
Not
All
counting that one.
right. So Back There, Queen of the Nile.
Yep.
Jeopardy Room.
Yep. One more. You looking at the list of episodes we've gone through?
Yeah. Oh, Elegy.
Yeah, good job.
All right. I kind of cheated a little bit, but I'm counting it. What's the dog's name in Little Girl Lost?
I want to say like Toto, but it's not. I think it starts with a T, maybe. Maybe it is Toto. No, it just looks like Toto because it's a small dog. Spike.
It's Mac or Mag. The jury's still out on it. The internet's very 50-50.
All right. Question number 9. Which World's Fair does the plane time travel to in Odyssey of Flight 33? I'm looking for the year.
I know it's in the 30s. 1938 World Fair.
1939.
Damn it.
So close.
And my final one was name a Frisbee thing, but I already did it, so.
You want me to name some more?
Yeah, give me 2 more.
2 more that you didn't say.
Yeah.
There's rear engine Frisbee and
rear engine
old
Frisbee.
inflating Frisbee.
All right.
Also, some of the ones he said too, like one is like the type of chemical that the rockets had, like old rear engine rocket. So many different names they made up. All right, my last question for you. What is the name of the town in Stopover in a Quiet Town?
Isn't it Peaksville?
Centerville.
Centerville. Damn it.
How many did you get? I got 5.
I got 5.
Oh, tied.
All right.
All right.
All right, we'll jump into our next activity for the year-end review. Do you have a little jingle for this one?
We made some mistakes. Let's re-rate them.
Decent. All right, so every year, Tyler and I get 3 re-rates for an episode we feel that we misjudged, whether it be negative or positive. Mine's going to be a little bit of both.
Mine's all positive. I'm upping.
You're upping everything.
All
Nothing's
3.
coming down.
There was 2 that I was considering lowering, but then I rewatched them. I'm like, no, I stand by those.
All right, I'll go first. We'll do a I go, you go thing.
Yep.
My first episode is actually, I'll start with the negative one, the only one I'm bringing down. People Are Alike All Over. I gave it... What did I give it, an 8?
I think you gave it like a 7.5.
I gave it an 8. It is definitely not that good. I believe you gave it a 5.5.
I don't know. It's right there on the board.
Yep. You gave it a 5.5. I gave it an 8. I'm gonna put it down to a 6.5. I'm gonna feel competent with it being
All right.
a 6.5.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, my first change I'm doing is my biggest leap from what I originally quoted to what I'm doing now. But escape clause, bringing it from a 6 to an 8 now, raising it up.
All right, and I had it at a 7, so we're still pretty close on that one. My second re-rate, I am going with... I forgot what I was going with.
You didn't write them down?
I just remembered them. Oh, yeah. Same as Frisbee. I'm going up like you. Is... What did I do? I can't see the stupid fucking things in the way. Yeah, it's having an 8.5. It ain't going up much. It's not going up by much, but my second one is Hocus Pocus and Frisbee. I'm going from an 8.5 to a 9. It's because I have Mr. Garrity and the Graves at a 9, and they're both on par. As much as people would be like, you're fucking nuts for thinking that Frisbee should be a 9, I fucking love Hocus Pocus and Frisbee.
I'm going to follow up with literally the exact same thing. I'm changing Hocus Pocus and Frisbee from an 8.5 to a 9. Similar reason, I gave Mute a 9, rewatched Mute, and I'm like, yeah, it's definitely a 9, but... it's definitely on par with Hocus Pocus and Frisbee, so that means I need to raise Hocus Pocus and Frisbee up to that 9.
I still think you are nuts for putting Mute at a 9. You might be the only person in the world who would give Mute a 9.
I honestly can't put my finger on why I love that episode so much. It just really clicked. I don't know.
Just picture every night when you go to bed or when you wake up, my name is Tyler. It's okay, but it's definitely not that good.
If you just ignore the teacher part, amazing episode.
I guess. All right, and my final one, The Incredible World of Horace Ford. I'm not moving it up much, but I think of it quite a bit, and I really find Pat Hingle charming in it, even though he's annoying as fuck. There's just something about that episode, and I feel like if that was a half an hour and you could end it with the Mickey Mouse watch instead, it would be such a good episode. But as it is, I still believe it needs to be up. I had it at a 4, and I'm going to just bring it up to a 5.
All right. My last one you'll be very happy with. I am changing one for the Angels. I had it at a 6.5, bringing it up half a point to a 7.
It still should go up a little bit higher. I gave that a 10, but I'm glad that you have it at least a 7 now. That's such a good episode.
It is good.
Up there? Up there, mister.
Up there, mister.
Bookman. I forgot his name for a second. All right.
Man that loves books. We'll call him Bookman.
All right. So, overall, been an awesome year. Thank you guys so much if you have listened to this all the way till this point. You guys are the fucking best. We love you guys. We really, really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening every week. And thank you so, so much. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Tyler, do you have anything to say to our very, very awesome listeners?
Yeah, thank you guys all so much for being with us for a full year here. Can't wait for the next 2 with you guys. And keep it cool in the Twilight Gnome.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling man is gone. Frisbee's telling stories, Mr. Dingle